Hi guys, it's Tim here. I haven't made too many videos because of the coronavirus, so what I thought I will do is I'll take you to Sydney International Airport and just do a quick walkthrough and show you how the coronavirus has affected Sydney on a standard day. It's a Sunday, 10 a.m, and it's usually quite busy. You can see all the actual flights there on that flight board that are leaving Sydney at this time between 10 and 12, so it's normally a very busy day. But before we actually enter the airport, what I want to do is actually show you the drive into Sydney International. I live about 15 minutes away from the airport, and I'll start showing you from about 7 minutes out. So as you can see, there are quite a few flights out of Sydney today. This is the beautiful inner west suburb of Marrickville. It's about 7 minutes to the airport here, and usually it's very busy on a Sunday, 10 a.m. And as you can see, it is just about dead. So if you look at the streets, there's any gauge of how the coronavirus is affecting Sydney and its travellers, and this is quite a popular route to the airport, you will see that it is quite dead. You can see the aircraft coming in. We're just going to basically follow that aircraft in. Now we're about 5 minutes away from Sydney International, and as you can see, still very quiet. This is one of the best gauges. This particular road usually would stop round about where this traffic light is. If you're going to the turn off right is where you'll turn off for the airport, and you'll be stopping here. This is how bad the traffic usually is on a Sunday morning. And look at this, I make it all the way to the traffic light itself. There you go. So clearly the Sydney traffic is affected. I love this street. I call this cheap street. So if you don't want to sort of pay the Sydney parking tickets and the exorbitant prices, people park their cars on this street. It's about 2 minutes from the airport, and they wait and they call their person who they're picking up, and then they leave to try and save about $10 on the parking. Lots of Uber drivers park on this street. It's a really famous street for saving money. So I'm about a minute away from the airport now. I'm just going to turn left here. And onto Airport Drive, and about 45 seconds away from the airport. This is generally it's not very busy, this road, because it's got straight through the thoroughfares. It's got no traffic lights, so this is not a good gauge if the airport's busy or not, this particular. Alright, so basically we're entering Sydney Airport now, and I'm going to go off to the parking zone. Just turning right here. Alright, welcome to Sydney Airport. Just going to go turn left into parking. Now I'm in level 7. That's my favourite level to go parking. And have a look at this. It is very quiet. Plenty of parking, even at 10 a.m. You saw how many flights were leaving before, so it's not like it's a quiet day. The flight board was packed. There's a view from level 7. I've done that flight before. If you're interested in my business class review of the flight of a Thai Airways 747 Sydney to Bangkok, you can check that out on my channel. It's actually my first ever video. Alright, so why don't we make our way to the departures hall. Just about to cross the road now. Now this is interesting. If you look at the drop-off traffic, which is the traffic that does not go to the car park, it is packed. So you can see a slight difference in the amount of people that actually drive to the airport. But in terms of just the drop-off passengers, this is quite standard for a Sunday. So this seemed like, a normal Sunday. Pretty busy actually. The Qantas check-in, obviously this is our national flagship carrier, so it's always going to be busy regardless of the coronavirus update or the coronavirus issues. Being the coronavirus or COVID-19, the regulations on flights will probably be changing day by day. But this was on this Sunday, so 2 days ago, or 3 days ago when this video comes out. Garuda Indonesia, there are regional partners in theory. They are quite close to us. It's about a 6-hour flight, and there's a fair bit of customers there, but not too many. Fiji Airways, I mean, the interesting is looking at the crowd. There's a good mix of Australian and Fijian people here, which means there are Australians taking holidays even in the midst of the coronavirus outbreak. Now, this is Air Canada. That is virtually deserted. And that's probably because of Canada's strict sanctions regarding coronavirus and flights. Vietnam Airlines, again, one of our regional neighbours, pretty busy, Vietnam Airlines. And they do flights to Vietnam daily. American Airlines, quiet. And even worse, United. Just a couple of people really. And they do daily flights. Sydney, Dallas, Fort Worth, Sydney, Los Angeles, I think, are the 2 flights they do. Okay, some people take the coronavirus very seriously. This is Singapore Airlines. They do 2 flights a day on most days, but definitely 1 a day. But there is on certain days 2 flights a day. So, you know what? This is a standard Singapore Airlines crowd. I think the flight leaves in about 3 hours' time at about 12, 1 o'clock, and it's about 10 now. So it'll start to build up. So that's a pretty standard Singapore Airlines crowd. Look at that. That's LATAM. That's a Chilean or South American airline, and they have routes via Auckland. So a lot of these people will be getting off in Auckland. But this was packed, absolutely packed, LATAM. So if you've got any comments, put your comments in the comment box. You can see that, you know what, I don't think the coronavirus has affected Sydney that much. I mean, you might see them like on the news. Sorry, this was Xiamen Airlines. Xiamen, sorry. If my pronunciation's wrong, please write it phonetically for me. There is AirAsia and Virgin. Seem quite quiet there. And this queue, you can see, is for China Eastern. It was packed. Now, I don't know about the travel ban. I think there might still be a travel ban for Chinese airlines, but it might be coming in. I'm not too sure. This is, of course, China Southern. And now to the food hall. Look, the crowd did not seem less. I mean, the streets weren't that crowded, but the baggage halls and the check-ins, you know what? It seems pretty normal for a Sunday morning. So you can make your decisions whether people in Australia or people traveling to Australia are taking the warnings regarding COVID-19 or coronavirus seriously or not. I love sitting here and having a meal before I fly. There's a glass sort of tunnel in front of me. You can see them. It takes you to the 2 main sides of the airport. I basically covered the majority of airlines you see in that window. There's United, there's Delta there's Virgin, there's Garuda, there's LATAM, there's 2 Qantas flights, and right at the back there was a Singapore Airlines A380, but I think I've covered all those ones for you. Yep, everything is pretty much as normal on a Sunday. So, you know what? I have booked, here we go, Philippine Airlines. So Philippine and Manila does have a lockout or a lockdown, but it seems like people are still flying. And there's Air New Zealand. Air New Zealand, about an hour after I made this video, made a lockdown for their whole country starting at 12 p.m. There's a departure gate for everyone to leave. There are people saying their goodbyes, which means I might as well say goodbye now. I hope you had some interest in this video, and hope you can see that, you know, I tried to give you a snapshot of what Sydney looks like during this particular outbreak and how the airport or the airline industry had reacted to it and how the people had reacted to it. I'm just paying my ticket here. Quite expensive, $19.90 for about 45 minutes. I should have said the whole hour, but you know, it's about making the video and trying getting it to you as soon as I can. I'm just going to go back to my car. So, you know, what do you think? How has the coronavirus affected your country or your state? How has it changed your travel plans? Now, please, I have had to cancel 2 flights that I was going to make for my channel, one to Singapore, one to Hong Kong. I have booked on an A350-900 to Fiji, flying Fiji Airways. So, guys, please be in tune for that one. Okay, so thanks, guys, and see you later.